This video response is going to go out to Zuela280390, and this is because they did the 90s tag, and I graduated in the late 1980s, very late 1980s, and so I happen to remember the 90s probably a little better than you do. And I can tell you that I was not too terribly fond of the music of the 1990s, but there were a few things I was fond of, and I'll go ahead and discuss all this. I was kind of fond of Aladdin due to the fact of Robin Williams. I like Robin Williams very, very much. He does a very good comedy set of routines. So yes, I was very fond of Aladdin because of that. I also enjoyed Toy Story. The animation was great. The storyline was great. So I did enjoy that. The rest of the Disney movies, I couldn't stand them. And the reason for that is that they always took place in the past. The far distant past. Back in the days when they had things like the bubonic plague. And I'm sitting here going, you know what? Ridiculous. I wanted things to take place in the future. And Disney was not famous for making future flicks. They were very famous for making things in the past. It was just too cheery for me, so no, I was not fond of them at all. Okay. Now, I will say, as far as music-wise was concerned, Richard Marx came out about that time. I did like his music. Billy Joel was doing some songs at that time, too. I really liked that. There were some artists back from my day that were still doing songs even into the 1990s. Journey was one of them. REO Speedwagon was another one. Hall & Oates. But as far as the up-and-coming bands, I couldn't hardly handle any of them. Not really. So, yeah. Now, what kind of candy was I fond of when I was a kid? That would be the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And I remember at Easter time they came out with the peanut butter eggs. Of course, nowadays they have the peanut butter trees and the peanut butter pumpkins and the whole 9 yards. But back in my days, they just had the eggs over Easter time, and the rest of the time you had peanut butter cups. And I was very fond of those. Now, when it came to snacks, I was very fond of Pringles. I loved Pringles. I also liked Godfather's Pizza when I was a kid, and Pez. Oh, I love Pez. I cannot tell you, they got chocolate Pez now, and they've also got lemon Pez. Love those. So, and I'm pretty sure they got blueberry Pez somewhere. I don't know. But if they do, I would love that too. Okay. Monopoly was one of my all-time favorite board games. Life I enjoyed as well. When it came to video games, it was Mario Brothers, Pac-Man. I do remember Dragon's Lair, and I remember Space Ace. I enjoyed Space Ace a lot more than I did Dragon's Lair because it took place in the past. So I was very much a Space Ace kid. Also, I thoroughly enjoyed The Legend of Zelda. Even though it did take place in the past, it was unique. It was fun. Mega Man, the whole Mega Man series, I enjoyed that. I still enjoy it to this day. So, there you go. Really wasn't that fond of McDonald's Happy Meals, but we used to have a restaurant called Burger Chef. Of course, it got taken over by Hardee's, but when you had a Burger Chef kids meal, you got this monster record. And if you look up Burger Chef monster record, you can actually still listen to these things because somebody saved their records and put them up on YouTube. Yay! I can still listen! Okay, now as for my favorite book in the 90s, that would be the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. I liked the main character. He had a really good leadership credential. He was a very good leader in the whole 7 books. And that's why I enjoyed it very, very much. Now, as a kid, I used to watch The Price is Right with Bob Barker. As a matter of fact, my mother would take a tape recorder and she would place it under the television set while I was at school, record The Price is Right, and then I would listen to it while I was doing my homework. So yes, I did enjoy that. I did enjoy Knight Rider, Battlestar Galactica, and Quantum Leap. As for Saved by the Bell, I really enjoyed Saved by the Bell, ironically. But when it came to Saved by the Bell, I was kind of hoping they would merge Quantum Leap with Saved by the Bell so that Al Calavici would show up and he would give guidance to Screech and his friends. I would have loved to have seen that. Really, I think those two shows should have gone together. Maybe one of these days they'll actually do something like that. You know, Saved by the Bell meets Quantum Leap. There you go. So, and that seems to be pretty much all you covered in your video. So now I've covered it on my end. Let me know what you think. Now, I will tell you, growing up in the 70s, and I did actually grow up in the 70s, I did enjoy Star Wars. All 6 movies. Well, no, correction. 5 of the 6 movies I enjoyed. The very first, episode 1 with Jar Jar Binks, I didn't enjoy that at all. But the rest of them I did enjoy. I definitely enjoyed when they made Yoda into this fighting whatever. Okay, that was really cool. I saw that in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I mean, Yoda was just cool in both of those. The 70s was basically about disco, pet rocks, happy face buttons, and striped shirts. I wasn't that fond of the striped shirts. I do remember the happy face buttons. I never really actually owned a pet rock. But the disco, yes. Yes, I remembered the Bee Gees, ELO, the Doobie Brothers, all of that good music back then. I miss it terribly, and I actually now have it on my MP3 player, which I take with me everywhere I go. No, I do not own a smartphone, and probably never will, unless I absolutely have to. But there you go. There you have it. Now you know a little bit about what my past was like. Hopefully you found this educational. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.